I have been engaging with so many of the forms of pirate gameplay in Star Citizen. I have been gaining crime stat, losing crime stat, hacking satellites, stealing, going to prison, sneaking out of prison, working my way out of prison, gaining crime stat again, hacking that crime stat down, in effect engaging with as many different forms of pirate gameplay in Star Citizen as I can. All the different ways that you can interact with criminality in Star Citizen to see if it was fun. And the beginnings are there, but let me show you what is fun. This is, of course, the Old Republic. I am playing a Juggernaut, a Vengeance Juggernaut, what some people call Slam Spec, using the Cut to Pieces Tactical. This is ridiculous fun. I am just blowing this up, and this is how I know that it is objectively fun. There are so many enemies when I'm running this little heroic here that I could skip, that I don't need to kill, that I kill anyways, even though it will take slightly longer, simply because it's fun to kill them. And that is the secret of what is fun in a video game. It's if you put things in there that players didn't have to do to achieve their objective, but they'll do it anyways because in doing it, they are having a good time. Now you might say, well, this doesn't apply to Star Citizen because we're not trying to say, oh, can you go into a bunker mission with a heavy machine gun and just mow everything down and earn all the loot? No. But what if you could go into a bunker mission sneaking around with the Coda pistol, with a silencer obviously and a little sight, and you could headshot all the baddies in there? Well, we want to keep it realistic. You know, we don't want you to have a weapon that when you're facing other people, you could technically go around and just one-shot another player. All right, fair enough. But what if you could take the Coda and then take another Coda at the same time and take a lot of time to aim it, but you could fire both pistols at once, silenced of course, and take out even the tougher enemies with what would technically be, I guess, a 2-shot, 1-shot headshot. That would be interesting. Now it would be very unwieldy and very slow to do, so it would probably be something that'd be more successful in PvE than it would ever be in PvP. But it would be fun. And it's not real, you know, you shouldn't dual wield pistols, you know, my range and structure. Yeah, it would be fun. It would be so much fun for some people. You know, there are people out there who are going to play Star Citizen who want to be hackers in the game. And hacking in the game, you know, we're looking for different ways to make it interesting. What if those people wanted to go so far with their hacking equipment, wanted to get all the best parts and components so far that they could take their Star Runner or they could take their Herald and they could say, hey, you know what I can do with this ship because I have put so much effort into it is now I can dumbfire a data spike missile from 30 kilometers away, hit SPK and hack your crime stat, and no one will know that I'm even there. Because they've put all that work in, because they put all that effort in, they get that reward, they can do that. That's fun. And this is kind of the spirit of what I want to kind of communicate here. The truth is that the best way to tell if something is fun in your video game is to say, hey, you know what? You can avoid most of the packs in this room and still get the objective and carry on with the mission. But you're not going to, are you? Because killing them is so much more fun, even if it takes more time. Building an amazing hacking ship takes more time, but it's going to be more fun if you do it. And that's really the test. If your gameplay is fun, it's would players pay to avoid this? Or, which is often the case if you know about the boosting communities in certain MMOs, how terrible that can be. And it's just, they say, oh, it's, players will do that anyways because, they always look for shortcuts. And I think that is the biggest load of horse shit that game developers drop in any kind of conversation. It is so indicative of how garbage the gameplay is that it's so unengaging and so not fun that players will, on top of buying the game or paying a subscription, will literally pay money to avoid engaging with that part of the game. That kind of tells you about the value of that part of the game and that it maybe needs to be changed. I'm sorry, maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's just the incorrect opinion, but a well-designed game is, even if it takes 80 hours, you'd still do it versus taking a shortcut and going 40 hours to complete a game, just because the 80-hour version is so much more fun. Now, you might think that because of what I've said that I don't think that the gameplay design in Star Citizen is particularly fun, and I have voiced opinions regarding it being too granular in certain respects. But if you think about just the problem of moving items around in your inventory, there is the option to just drag and drop it into the general ship's inventory right now. And of course, we want to put, armor in the armor racks, guns in the gun racks. Having those two options there means the people who want the fun with putting the guns in the gun racks get that. The people who have the convenience of just dumping it there can just do that, right? You have both these options open. And so you now have a way to fulfill the fun for both groups, both camps. And that really is the test, right? Is having that option. Will more people take this option versus the other, but at the same time, you're still pleasing both camps. And if you think about escaping prison, currently you have to kind of wait for somebody to be around or a friend to get on the server to provide you with that last ride to get you away from prison. But what if you could create a mission for an NPC, cost 10,000, 15,000 credits, whatever, and they'll wait for you at the exit of the prison for about an hour, and if they pick you up, they complete, you pay them. If they don't, they don't. That would make escaping from prison a little bit more convenient, but you would still have to go through all the steps of escaping the prison. It's not like they just come in, blow down the doors and say, this is a prison break. But having that extra, having that little bit of connective tissue there to make it just a little bit more convenient to escape from prison while still preserving all the work of getting out of the prison and making all the jumps, I think that that's still a good thing. I think that that's still a fair thing. And, all the steps are still there. There are little tweaks that we can make here or there that can still preserve what Star Citizen is and still open up the door to kind of make it a little bit easier. And then we can look at the more granular way of doing things, or in some ways the more slow way of doing things, and we can start to think of ways, how can we make this so much more interesting that in general, even though the easier way to do it is there, players will want to do it the hard way because the hard way is more fun. Do you see what I'm saying? That really is the test of gameplay. That really is the test of so many of these ideas that people kind of conjure up, like, oh, we'll make them do it this way, we'll make them do it that way. Can you make it so good that even if the easier way exists, that players will go, knowingly go your route, go the more granular route? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm actually in favor of it because I've shown you an example of where that is totally true. And it's totally fun. And I think that with hacking, with escaping from prison, with so many pirate activities, you can make it take longer and actually be a better experience.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.